Hello, my fantastic MFA 608 students. Welcome to Module 1. This is a kind of a video that explains what we're doing and how to do it. So we'll post one of these every single module to kind of guide you. Now, if you have any questions, you feel free to post them in the discussion board under general questions or email me. Generally, what I found is that I post these videos and walk you through them so that you can get a response fairly quickly, as opposed to waiting for up to 24 hours for me to respond. So please watch this video all the way through because it explains what you need to do and how to do it, and it's just it's just wonderful is what it is. Okay, so we are going to get started with Module 1. So I'm going to kind of scroll down here. If you haven't done so already, you should have watched this little video under course introduction, and then there's the information about me. And then you'll see another link, which is the video you're watching right now. We're not going to spend time in this particular video to go through the start here. Basically, this is fairly common within courses at Southern New Hampshire. So if you haven't taken any classes at Southern New Hampshire, start this. It's still a good idea to kind of review this, as it were. And then you can see here's Module 1. Okay, and then we can just click on here to get started into Module number 1. Another way to get to the module is just go to course menu and go to learn new modules, and it will take you to this same page. Okay, and here we are, Module 1. Now, it has a list of things that we're going to be doing throughout the course of this module, kind of just like a checklist. We're just going to go through it step by step, and it'll be fine. You will not see the facilitation notes. That's for me as the instructor, so don't worry about that. So we're going to go right to the learning objectives. So I'm going to click on that. And what are we doing for this module? Well, we are going to discuss how approach to revision will inform helping others, and also examine resources on revising to support editing and coaching. All right, well, that's fantastic. Okay, well, that's this basic overview. So, hey, look, we've got something done. Okay, moving on. Again, this is the what and how to. All right, so this this page right here, this is the module overview. I'm going to let you read this on your own. My takeaway from this was, just keep in mind that there are, in creative writing, the rules are that there are no rules, really. As long as you're consistent in the approach that you take when you're writing. You will have established authors who disagree on all sorts of different rules on what you should be using and stuff like that. But it's a good idea to kind of get a general overall sense and stuff like that. And this has a quote from Stephen King's On Writing. If you haven't read this book, even if you're not a fan of Stephen King, it's actually very insightful on the writing process. So anyway, so read through this, kind of give you that kind of insight on that. Moving on, that's just the overview. All right, module at a glance. These are the different things that we're going to be doing for this module. Again, it's kind of like a checklist. So the first thing we're going to do is review the resources, which we kind of are working on right now. And then you have an ebook, an e-textbook that you've already got access to. So how to access that is if you click on this link right here, it'll probably have you log back into Southern New Hampshire, but eventually it'll get you to this. And here is your textbook. Okay, you're like, okay, oh, well, good, but what am I supposed to do? Well, you're supposed to read part 1. Well, where is part 1? Well, click on table of contents, it'll take you down to the table of contents. You can also just kind of scroll down, and there's part 1. So you can just click on the little that, and then you can just read through these different things. If there's any activities or anything in this, you don't have to do any of the activities in this. Just read through this. That is really what that is required there. Okay, and then we're going to be doing these discussions, and we'll go through these one by one in just a second. Okay. And then let's move on to the readings and resources. Okay, that's that same link I just showed you before. Writing, that's the same thing I just showed you. Yeah. There's also some cool websites that give you some insight on different things. And I will tell you, do I know that you've read these and gone through these? No, I have no idea. Okay, but this is a little word of advice. You're paying to be here. You are taking this time and money to invest in yourself. So you will get out of this course what you put into this course. So if you just kind of do the very minimum, very basic things, well, then you'll get the very minimum and very basic kind of output that you could have gotten from this class. So it's really up to you. Okay, there are things you have to do to earn a grade, but it's really not about the grade as much as really learning about the craft and how you're going to be able to apply it. one thing, it does say additional support, track changes in Word. I'm going to strongly encourage you to get Microsoft Word and use this as your primary writing tool. This seems to be one of the main standards in the field, and track changes is a huge standard that I have seen personally as a professional author as far as revision. And we will be using track changes and Word for this class. If you're like, oh, but I don't want to pay for Microsoft Word. Well, I can't say for sure, but I have been told that if you Google Microsoft Word for free for a student and you register with your school email address, then you may be able to get Microsoft Word for free. I'm not saying that that is a thing, and don't please contact me and say, how does that happen? I'm just giving you the thing. But you need to be aware of how track changes work and how Microsoft Word works. Again, since you're going to be writing, and especially in this class where we're going to be doing editing and giving revision, this is our main tool. This is basically replacing the red pen where someone would physically hand you a document and you would mark it up with a red pen and hand it back to them. We do the same thing, but now we use track changes. So please, 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 please pay attention to that. Okay, moving on. Before we get started, before beginning the activities of this module, make sure you review the required resources, which we've done. In addition, pay attention to your instructor's announcements for this week for additional resources and lessons that will help you prepare for this week. So we do have an additional lesson. It's optional, and again, it's what you put into it. And to get to that, you go to Course Menu, and you go to Discussions, and you'll see there is there's the Getting Started, the General Questions, and then the Module Discussions, which we'll talk about. But this optional one is under General Questions. So if you click on General Questions, you'll see there's a thread here, Optional Lesson for Module 1. And we'll click on that. And you will see it says, for this optional lesson, please read the attachment for the directions. You can post your response to the thread. And then there are the directions. And I'll go ahead and just pull those up right here. So this is a kind of a cool activity where it gives us a chance as our writers to be kind of our own critics, as it were, to kind of write down a checklist of the things that we constantly write and we kind of just do out of habit that we realize we're constantly going back and having to fix. So if we recognize, that we are using a lot of to be verbs, was, is, etc., and we're like, oh gosh, there should be some stronger verbs there, and we're constantly having to go back and fix those in revision, well, maybe that's part of your checklist that you write down, hey, this is something I should be aware of as I'm writing, or things I need to check for when I'm doing revision. So, and there's some examples of these checklists. So, maybe just write down for this assignment, just say, hey, these are the things that, when I write, I'm constantly, I'm switching between points of view and I shouldn't be, or sometimes I'm changing my, verb tenses without realizing it, or whatever the thing is that you currently are working on. And we're not here to judge. That's just an option. Again, you don't get graded for this. It's just one of those activities that you will be able to do. Okay. So let's go back to learning module number 1. And let's pick up where we were, which was before you get started. Okay, so we talked about the optional activity. And now let's move on to the other deliverables. Stuff that you got to do to get graded. Woo! The first one is revision. Okay, and this is discussion 1.2. So here's the scenario. Okay, so for this discussion, you will need to have a complete first draft of your work, something recent. Now, this is not, this could be something that you're working on for your book, whatever, but note, no more than 5 pages. No more than 5 pages. It could be for, a short story you've written, a blog post, something, but no more than 5 pages. What you're going to do is you're going to take 5 pages or less of something, 5 pages or fewer, I should probably say. Anyway, and then you're going to do some self-editing, some self-critiquing, okay? So what you're going to do is that you're going to submit a draft. So you're going to take that paper with your own edits using track changes. Remember how I talked about track changes in Word? Woo! Again, there's the information right there, that same link that talks about how to do track changes. So that's something you get to learn on how to do your own editing using track changes. And you're going to make comments on your paper of things that you would like go back and do as far as a re-edit. Okay. So part 1 is you're going to find a piece of work that you've already worked on, find 5 pages of it, and then you're going to do some self-editing, and you're going to be making the notes using track changes. Okay. And then you'll upload that file. So that's part 1. Then you get to answer the following questions using a video. Video, yes. Okay. In the MFA program at Southern New Hampshire, they like us to use videos for the discussion boards. Some people don't like to talk, or they don't want to see themselves be posted, or they're not comfortable speaking. Well, it's one of the skills you need to develop. So that is a thing. Okay, so you're going to answer these questions. Well, how do you do all this stuff? Well, very simple. Simply, I should say. Okay, you're going to start a thread. Okay, and then you give this a title, whatever your title is going to be. Okay. Then you're going to add an attachment. Your attachment, you click on Add Attachment, and then you can just upload the file. This is going to be the one that has the track changes already on it. So this is the 5 pages, or up to 5 pages, I will go with that have your comments using track changes on what stuff that you should edit. Okay. After you've uploaded that, then you need to create a video and answer these questions. Well, how do you create this video? It's very simple when you're using Brightspace. You click on this little button right here that says Insert Stuff, and then it goes to Video Note. I'm going to click on this and you'll see me in just a second. And there I am. Hello, there I am. There is me. There's me. Oh, well, now I'm really self-conscious about how I'm speaking. But if you kind of scroll down, you see new recording. So as soon as I hit new recording, this will start recording. I have up to 3 minutes to record my response. So I'm going to record my response where I'm going to be answering those questions. So I've uploaded the post, and then I'm answering the questions using this. And then that's it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click out of this. When you're done, you would actually post it, but I'm not doing that right now. Okay. And then when you're done recording your video, then you would post the whole thing. Okay, and that's that assignment. Woo! Yay, that's the revision assignment. All right, moving on. The next one is 1-3, which is the class resources. So for this one, we are going to be working on creating a wiki, as it were, okay, of some great sources and information that's going to be helpful for us to be able to look up quickly information that we may need. And so again, that is right there under Start a New Thread. And you'll see that I have already created one. Now we're going to be putting a lot of text in here a lot of stuff in here as far as stuff with editing and things like this. So you get to ask, include things. And this is something we're going to be working on for the whole course of the semester because it'll be graded in Module 10, but we're going to be working on it throughout the course of the semester. But I've already added a thread here called MLA formatting videos. Since we are going to be using MLA formatting in this course, I've created 3 videos that walk you through the step-by-step on how to set up an MLA paper using Microsoft Word, how to do a works cited page, and how to do in-text citations. Okay, so that's my little wiki to start us off with, and that's something that you will need to do. You'll need to add a source, and again, just review the directions on how to do that, on some kind of things that you can be adding. Okay, so this is how you're going to be connecting, and that's something that we're going to be doing. Alrighty, moving on. Okay, and for the last thing is that, so we do need to look towards the end of the class, like what are we going to be doing? What are we going to finish? What is the elephant we're going to eat when we're done? So, the question is, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is 1 bite at a time. But if we just look at the elephant and think, oh my gosh, how am I going to eat this thing? It can be very intimidating. But we at least want to understand that what we're working toward. So we're going to go ahead and click on this final project and guidelines rubric. And they just want us at this point in time to kind of look and review the concepts and the final project that we're going to be working on that you're going to submit at the end of the semester. Now, this can be extremely intimidating. And like, oh my gosh, I don't know this stuff. Holy cow, MLA formatting. It's been forever since I've done that. What am I going to do? What does all this mean? You know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay because we're going to be working on this throughout the whole course of the semester. Well, all these different things we're going to work on per module, and then we'll just kind of combine them at the end. It's going to be fine, and I will walk you through it. But at least you should have an idea of reading through this and seeing, again, you may not be able to understand all this because we haven't covered a lot of this. So don't get too hung up on a lot of the details simply because we haven't covered it yet. But you should be aware of how that's a thing. Okay. Yeah, and so you just need to do that. And there's also a video that helps you with that. Okay, so that is it for module number 1, I think. Actually, there was something that was supposed to be done. Let me go up to here. I don't know if it was mentioned, but we still need to do it. This is under, yes, the getting started. Okay, it wasn't on their checklist, but this is something you still need to do. Getting started checklist, you just click on this, and you're just going to put a post, and you're going to just answer these questions right here. I have done so right here to give you an example. So there you go, and go have fun doing it.